Brothers, am I audible?
All right, Rob's been waiting a while.
You still sound like you still sound.
Yeah, you're
Same thing.
So Rob is here.
Yeah.
This guy.
Hello,
take,
Fawad. Hello, hello.
to take on the challenge and prove
Yeah,
the
Matt, good
Islamic
to see you.
dilemma. So let's hear it. Present your argument, mate.
Oh, well, please don't. Do you actually believe in the Islamic dilemma, Rob?
Let him.
Well, yes, I do, but for charity's sake, I heard, Hamza, what you said about the Torah and the Injil as being not the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So, my frustration in this discussion is that I understand what David Wood and God Logic and all are doing in regards to the whole, if it confirms the Bible, then it defeats the Quran. If it doesn't confirm the Bible, it defeats it. I understand what they're trying to do with that. For me, that's boring. I'm more interested in the meat of the topic. So, for example, let's just say all the Bibles are destroyed from here on out, and let's just say a generation later, like a century from now, they are digging up relics of the past, like say religions and whatever. And let's just say the Quran happens to be the religious text that survives. And now the Quran actually has stories from Adam to Jesus. Like it's basically recounting what happened in the past. So what happens if, hypothetically, say a historian wants to recount Adam extant from the Quran? And so then this historian starts to discover texts, not the Bible, but other texts that does agree with the Quran. So in other words, Iblis and the situation in heaven, or Cain being taught by Allah, like when Allah sends a raven to dig in the ground and teaching Cain how to bury Abel's corpse, or the Dul Qarnayn story, Surah 18, or when Joseph is in Surah 11, when Joseph walks into the room and all the women cut their hands. Those type of stories are not obviously in the Bible, but they're in the Quran for a reason. What if they start discovering stories that conforms and comports with the Quran, but little do they realize these are legends that only exist within the first 5 centuries of the Common Era, not from the Bible actually. So then what? Like what if then a generation later?
What's your argument? What's your argument?
So my
You've been
argument
waffling
is
for
that
so long, just form it.
that's not a waffle. That's not a waffle.
It is waffle. You always waffle.
It's not.
Premises. Short.
Give us the argument.
The point is I've just laid out examples from the Quran,
Just
right?
give us the argument, man.
So the argument then is that, say if someone were to discover the Bible, like say there's another professor that goes, oh wait, I've just found a whole Bible, a so-called, say, Protestant canon, and they're reading the Genesis account. There is no raven story in Genesis 3 and 4. There is no women cutting the hands with respect to Joseph. There is no Jesus with the clay birds. It's completely different. The names may be
None of that will change for us.
The stories,
cut it
the
short.
stories are different.
Nothing.
Now
nothing.
what happens? Which came first?
Rob. You said you're going to deal with the meat of the matter.
That's the meat of the matter, yes.
No, when you deal with the meat of the matter, you don't present a hypothetical. You deal with the matter. So you can't present a hypothetical as dealing with the meat and potatoes of the issue.
Well,
so the
are the examples are later from the Quran? Are they in the Quran?
You're asking about a hypothetical if everything
did
else
I
was
misquote the Quran in any way?
We're talking about the issue that you're presenting. You can't now cherry pick your argument and say, well, that bit about the Quran I got right, that's real, but everything else is false.
I think I got all the bits of the Quran correct.
Everything. I'm not talking about what you got right of the Quran. I'm talking about your argument is based upon, it's ultimately a hypothetical. If you want to deal with the meat and potatoes or something, you don't present a hypothetical, and we don't deal in hypotheticals.
Okay,
then
let's retract. Let's retract the hypothetical.
I granted him his hypothetical, and I said,
okay,
we don't care, even if there are 1,000. So this is how I would respond. Even if there is 1,000 manuscripts that we discover from the so-called Bible, right? Since we cannot establish that it is from God, and we have already established that the Quran is from God, okay? Whatever the Quran says, that is, it stood the test of time. It stood the
Yeah,
falsification
but that doesn't
challenge.
actually
It
respond
is.
to anything he said.
I'll be honest with you,
No.
Rob, you're
No, no.
wasting our time.
Yeah.
No, wait,
What-
wait,
No, you're
Fuad,
wasting.
Fuad.
Bro, you was
I'm
here
gonna-
to
I'm gonna-
Rob.
wait,
I'm gonna
wait,
ask Fuad a question.
I'm wrapping
Hey,
it up, right?
Hamza,
So-
you literally said you're not going to be like the other stream. You're
Oh,
going to be
okay. What was the
respectful
topic
and
of
allow
the stream?
discussion and
No,
dialogue.
So I'll wrap it up.
Fawad,
Okay.
just 1 second.
Yeah.
Fawad, just 1 second. Just 1 second. Sorry, Rob. Remind me what the stream is about.
I've been sitting here for a whole hour or two.
What's the
And
title
I remember
of the
at the
stream?
start of the
What's the-
stream, you were mocking them for being rude or
Right,
something.
and then what did I change it to?
I don't think I'm being rude here.
No, it's not.
I'm
okay.
engaging the topic.
It's not. Hey, let's
It's
chat about
extremely
what you want to
rude.
chat about. It's prove the Islamic dilemma. You've
Yes,
come on here
and this
you
is
took
this
the-
is
right,
this is my attempt. These are my questions.
This isn't your Islamic dilemma.
So
though.
respond to what I'm laying out.
No, I'm not
For
interested in
example,
that.
Yemenite.
What's it?
In
No,
fact,
no.
let me just
Rob,
ask Yemenite a quick question.
Rob, I'm not going to do it, mate. I'm not going to do it. Look, we said this is an opportunity for Christians to present their Islamic dilemma. I'd rather go watch these other jokers respond to it than someone come on and just waffle and give us hypotheticals and invent an argument that he's had in the mirror with himself as if like we're going to entertain it. We're not interested.
Yeah. It will
Seriously,
have
not
no
interested.
impact on our theology or our belief system. We
Yeah,
still would
well,
think that the Quran is true.
Yeah, you
Khalas.
can still respond to it, Fawad, but we don't need we don't need him to come on and
The
start
thing is,
giving
even,
us some hypothetical like it's the Rob show. Subhanallah.
a hypothetical doesn't do anything. Even if you present your hypothetical argument and you frame it in such a way that your hypothetical argument is true and can be valid and all of that stuff and follows through to its conclusion, it's still a hypothetical. It doesn't actually do anything. We're talking about the reality here.